we have started implementing, guys, Jenkins. We have installed successfully, and Jenkins just a kind of platform. Whereas a platform means it does not do anything by themselves, right? Whatever you want to perform with the Jenkins and from the Jenkins, right? For everything, there's a plugins available. we need. Password means my master will log into this machine and they log into this user. And for this, I need a password. Okay, for logging via SSH. So in the SSH, guys, we mostly log in. Nowadays, we prefer not to use password. Instead, we use a private keys to log in. Okay, this is good practice. And that is the reason if you launch the OS in the AWS cloud, they create this user and they create one private key for this user. And this is the private key that I have downloaded while launching the OS. You know, when you launch the OS in AWS cloud, they ask you to attach the key or create the key. That was the private key that I have. So in my case, the Jenkins system, the Jenkins system, this one has attached with one private key. If you go down here, I attach one private key to this guy while launching this OS. And this private key I have already created, otherwise you can create while launching the OS. This private key I have in my laptop already. So in my laptop, if I go to my download folder, I initially downloaded. Okay. And the key name, if I open, is called cube key.pm is a mostly extension we use for the private key. And this is a private key I already have. It's more like a password. Okay. Normally cloud will create for you. Otherwise, if you want to create by yourself, then also guys, some video we have shared with you where I explain you what is SSH, how to create a private key with SSH keygen command for your own user, how to log in with a private key. So just for basic knowledge perspective, that video we have shared with you. Okay, so that you can gain the knowledge what is the use of private key and how they log in with SSH. Okay, or if you know, that's okay. You don't need to go to those videos. So point is, okay, requirement for login to slave is via SSH is enabled. You should know the IP address. You should have the username, and you should have a password or the key. All the four things I have in place right now. Only what you have to do, you have to fill here in the Jenkins. And so Jenkins, I want to connect to a node. My launch agent is via SSH. Host name is IP address of this machine is this one. So I'm using public IP, so I have a proper connectivity. This one. Okay, to log into this machine, I need a password. It's called credentials. I don't have anything added yet. So how to add? There's a button here to add. I want to add my login and password over here. So in the Jenkins, guys, they give a separate box. Where they maintain all the login and password. So I'm just clicking on this box. It is not clickable. It is not clicking. So 1 minute. It's not clicking. In some of the version of the Jenkins, they allow me to click directly here, but it's not working. So this place you can also export from here. So rather than you just click here, what you can do, again, if you go to dashboard, let me leave this page for a minute. Okay. And again, in the manage Jenkins, there is a tab here. This is security. In security, there's a tab of credentials, right? So mostly, guys, we need to manage a login and password store in the Jenkins, some in centralized location. So Jenkins keep on using, especially to log into the node. So those credentials we manage here. For example, what I'm looking for, hey, Jenkins, you're a master. You have to log into the slave node. How to log in? You need a password. So in Jenkins, we can store those login and password called credential in some kind of centralized location. This is the location I'm talking about. Okay, here or maybe here, especially the credential providers. So we click on the credential provider. Okay, and here you can say, oh, all right. format, not this one. Come on, format, guys, again. There's something they change actually. The button they give you directly. Let me click on the configure. Yeah, here it is, right? This was the name was coming over there. So again, let me repeat so there's no confusion. So click on the manage Jenkins, go down in security, click on credential, this called configure credentials. Okay, and here you click on system means entire information what a Jenkins need to know about login password to other systems, maybe some type of GitHub also password you have to store somewhere for some reason. Okay, in our case, the node login and password. So I have to store everything over here, over here. And here again, the global credential is empty right now, empty right now. Okay, and if we click on the add credential, it asks me, what do you want to store? You're going to store the username and password? So everything whatever we're looking for is there. Let me click on the agent. Now this time, okay, again they fail. If you see there's a different error gonna come up. Okay, error gonna come up. So now this time they again log in successfully. There's very nice, and they fail. See here, guys. Last time they're looking for Java. Now this time they found a Java. Okay, they found the Java. But the only challenge is that's what I was talking about. This Java version might not work. Okay, so they checking the Java version, can't figure out Java version, what they're looking for, checking Java fail, Java return this because this version was not right. I actually I randomly trying is to use the Java, so I have to find a different Java version that will work on my system. So point is, not every Java version is support. There are a lot of Java version available in the market. Okay, here you install Java. What are they talking about? 8 or 11 in this machine. Okay, that was the fail. Even though this was error is completely about. I'm trying to copy some agent program. Okay, so actually this is the name of the agent program actually. Trying to copy, but this program is not able to run because Java version what they're talking about is not supported. So my point here, what I tried here is wrong. Okay, so let me uninstall the Java again. I don't want this Java. Okay, so let me uninstall the Java. This Java does not support. So what to do? Obviously, you have to go and find the Java somewhere from the internet. So search for JDK. This is Java Development Kit 11 version to download. Find some website where you can find this Java. I'm just randomly trying to from the Oracle website. Again, this is a one-time setup actually, so you don't have to worry. Again, you don't have to do again and again. Okay, and I'm going to install the Java on the top of Amazon Linux. They support RPM. RPM. So this is the Java I'm looking for. Let me check. Yeah. So Linux 64 version RPM I'm looking for. This is Java I'm looking for. Right. Click here, and they give you a way to download. Only challenge is they can't give a link actually. Let me check. Actually, I need a link to download. We have to click here. They actually download in my local laptop. Or maybe asking me to log in. So here they have you to create an account in my account is not working. Let me find other way. JDK RPM. You can find some other link also where you can download the software directly. Maybe this can be on website. RPM find. This can be one website. Here I can take Java 8. 1.8 means Java 8. Okay. And 64-bit. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. And this is the link. Copy link address. I know the link. And then let me go to this Linux system. Let me download the software with wget. Click. The software has been downloading. It has been downloaded. And because the RPM extension, so any software that come in the RPM extension, guys, you can use RPM space IVH and then your software name, hit tab, it will auto complete. Okay. Again, this is the different challenge going to come up here because this is different OS. I have to find the proper software. Let me try to use yum if they work here. Yum local install. Let me use sudo. No. And this version is not supporting actually in this OS. So this is a big challenge sometimes. Let me try open JDK with other version. Small effort you to do. to check the right version. Open JDK. If you also guys also try and just give me a support to check the proper version. If you have a link, do share with me. Let me try Java 11. Java 11. JDK, this one 64-bit. This is 64-bit. But for OpenSUSE, CentOS might work. So I'm using CentOS version of the OpenJDK. This can work. Copy link address and let me double get download this version of the Java. Okay, again rpm -ivh Java 11. The same challenge. Let me use with yum local. Yum will normally resolve the issue of dependencies. There's some challenge. One more try I can do very quickly. Jenkins is the one who actually give the actually is unwanted wasting of time. I can see this because installing the Java. So here they give us some link. For where I can download Java, maybe. Sorry, Jenkins. So I think they might give you. They're not yet get given. Detail policy Java. Installing Jenkins Java. I'm just looking for the link where I can download the Java from. Java 11, Java 17 required. So that's what actually I tried. Java 8 was not working. Java 7 and 8 to 17 would work. Because my OS is not supporting that version. Oh, wait for a minute. Java supported version because I think this is the latest version we're using. This is Java version they support 11, 17, and 21, but 21 is not working here. I will try with 17. Uh, Somebody share this link. Let me try this. Copy link. Paste. JDK 21. Oh, nice. I think it should work. I think it should work. So they should work. Let me check where they installed. Well, guys, let me check. Then I'll give you the entire theme. So it's not installed actually. It's not installed because they not be in the same. Let me try. Somebody will give one more link. So in this software I already have. It's not working. I don't know why. I have to find. The only challenge is to install the Java. That's all. The right version. It's not working. That's very. It's a different architecture. Let me use Java JDK 21. No archetype. RPM. Some website you can get the link very quickly. Java. Looking for the link actually. They're giving how to install it. Oh, I try. Otherwise, I have to go to other Linux system. They might give you different Java that will work. I'm just trying one more last try. Let me copy this command. JDK 17. JDK 17. IVH. Yeah, it looked like it should work. It looked like it should work. Okay, Java version. Fantastic, fantastic, guys. Done. We have done it. So I'll share this link to you. But you guys also understand, guys, this is a little bit trouble always to have the right version because three system involved. This Amazon Linux come with a new version and Jenkins different If this page, they will tell you that this node has right now running with one job, name this one, job 111. And you can see also here, they are using some of the executors. So that this page also you can see what is happening over here in this particular node. And if you go to build history of this node, okay, you can see guys, the job run 3 times, right? So per node also they have a history. In this node, how many job run, job name, job IDs, they fail, they pass based on time. They get event timeline here. Timeline, how much time they take, fail, all the things they explain to you. So this first job failed, the second job come to normal, third was stable, working fine continuously, so they become stable over here. And there's a button here. You click, you can actually go to the console output of this job. It means, it means, okay, we have one node dedicatedly for the Docker purpose. Okay. Similarly, you can have one node dedicatedly for maybe for Kubernetes purpose, for example, or OpenShift purpose, for example. Let me do very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do, I have one more node. Almost guys, a quick revision for you. Then I go for one interesting practical on the top of this setup. So I'm running with the Jenkins. Okay, let me give this name Jenkins to slave. Let me give this guy a name, just a name. Jenkins, one slave, one I already set up, two I'm going to set up very quickly. Only a prerequisite you guys know. We need to install the Java here. Okay. So first is I need to create a folder, my Jenkins. It will help us to manage the workspace for their job, whatever allocated to this guy. And second thing is I need Java to be installed. It's a one-time setup. It's a new node. Okay. And let me copy these directives we use somewhere. Okay. And in the Jenkins, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add manage is again quick revision for you. Same thing, a new node. Let me get slave to, and this slave is almost same setting. So I'm going to copy. I don't want to do the thing again. I'm copying from the slave one, same setup. Anything you want to change, you can change here. So I only want to change this folder. By chance, folder name is also same. Okay, label I want to change. Let's say this node I would like to use for the Kubernetes purpose. Okay, so those who by chance does not Kubernetes again is the container management tool where we can launch a lot of container and manage with high scale. Okay, otherwise anyone who are part of my DevOps training, so there we are learning Kubernetes already, and we have done in great detail the discussion of Kubernetes, right? So I'm setting the level for the Kubernetes, and everything is almost the same, I believe. Okay, so save. This node is I level. You can give any level name. Okay, and two executor they given to me. It means this node has been launched successfully. I can see the log. Good practice. Because last time, guys, this log help us to troubleshoot a lot of things. And finally, my node is live. So technically, we have two nodes. Okay, and both the node I use for different purpose. This is for Kubernetes purpose, and this is I'm going to use for the Docker purpose. That's what I have given here. One more thing, if you notice, guys, in the slave two, this is a name link they have. When I say link, they tell you how many node we have for this link. Only one node. Okay. Sometime I told you the way I explained to you. One node. and one job it is to terminate if you want to terminate that guy. Okay, and where the launching right now, I am sitting on the master node. I am launching everything in the slave node. Okay, and which slave node? Whichever I decided intensely. Okay, by using some kind of tags or levels. Okay, that's what I've done. So you can see, guys, we have lots of execute available: two from slave two from slave one, four from master node, and so on. More and more slave you add, more and more executor you're gonna have, more and more job you can run in parallel. Okay, now I'm going to show you one interesting project, guys. So it requires half more hour to complete this project, right? Right now, what we have done, we have only done the setup, right? But now, what I'm going to do, I am going to set up one project here. Okay, and what project I'm going to build is very, very interesting. You will love it. Let me explain you the entire flow of this project, right? And for this project, I actually set up this environment. So let me explain you what I'm going to do. Okay, so our plan is something like this. Okay, so we are the developer, for example, let's say, and our duty is to create a web app. Let's say in a language called HTML, for example. This is our duty, right? And after my developer has created this app, what I want, because nowadays, whatever you want to launch, we always launch in a world of container. So what I want, this app will be run with the help of container. And if you know a little bit about the container, otherwise I'll share my videos to you about the Docker container. Okay. Normally what we have to do, we have to put this app or code inside an image that called custom images. So you have to create a custom image for this. Okay. So what happened? Whatever code developer is creating, because their plan is to run this app with the container technology, first you have to put your code or copy your code in a image, your own personal image. This is called container image, custom container image. Why custom? Because you're going to put your code. And for creating the custom images, those who again know Docker, we use a concept called Docker file. Docker file. Okay, so it means what we have to do. Okay, nowadays every developer mostly have a two roles to do. One role is what they had. They have to create a code for your app. And second role of the developer is to create a Docker file. And in the Docker file, they decide, okay, where to copy this code. Okay, and many more things also. Those who again know Docker, in the Docker file, normally we write lots of things. So what developer will do, they will create two files. One the Docker file. Okay, and the Docker file normally they give the instructions. What instruction? How to create the custom images. That's what they write in the Docker file. Okay, typical instructions, something like this. Again, a quick revision. In the Docker file, they say I have to use some base OS. Let's say Ubuntu or CentOS, for example. Let's say CentOS version 7, for example. On the top of this, because this is the web app, I want to run some web server. So they have to set up the web server, which one, which version. Then if this code is Python PHP, they install that library. Let's say this code in PHP, for example, they have to install PHP interpreter. And then on the top of this, they have to copy the code. Okay. All this information a little bit about the uh, container part. Okay, like Dockerfile. So let me show you guys how we can do this setup. And for this setup, what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to do here. I'm using two node. The motto of this node is to work for us to create the image. So let me change the label to this image of to this node. Let's say this is the build machine. Build. Build. I'm just using the build, that's all. And this machine motto is to launch the content for the public guys. So let me use the word of production. I'm just changing the name. Okay. So let me start doing this setup again. So setup will be something like this. Let me start from here. From here. So first of all, let me go to my node slave one. I changing some of your level according to my requirement. Now onward, you will be help me to build something. So you can say my build, whatever name you can give. Let me give my build. Okay, that's the level you have. And node number two, that this is very, very interesting demo, very useful. Lots of things we can add on the top of this. This is my production node. Okay, that's what we have done. Two node we have. That's one thing. Second thing is because both the node is doing something with Docker. One node is building the image. There we need Docker software. Second, they are launching the container. So both the system we need Docker to be installed. So let me install the Docker in both the node. One node I already did the Docker part. So let me go to node 2 also. Let me also store Docker there. Okay, dependable requirement, right? In my case, I need both the node require Docker. So I'm setting the Docker both the side. Okay, so that's all. Both the side Docker has been set up. This thing I already had, and that's all. One small thing I'm doing here, I have running with lots of container here. So let me delete. I don't need this, guys. My OS 1, let me delete. OS 2, let me delete. So thing is clean. So this is one of the node I meant for build purpose for creating the image, and this node I meant for production purpose, launching the container for the production use cases. Okay, this is the one, right? So now our setup would be something like this. Now I am sitting in my laptop. Okay, so I'm the developer. I create two files, one code and one more code. But this code, I am giving the instruction how to create the custom image. And here I am going to put my code, my web code, app code. Okay. So this is the plan. So for this, I'm going to use my local machine here. I'll go to some of my folder. You can go any folder, does no matter. Okay, I'm going to use some of my folder what I created in my last class. Not this one. Jenkins string 22.4. Okay, and I told you my last class because my plan is to upload this code to guys. This demo will take almost half an hour. It's very interesting demo. So please understand this part, and please also take the focus. Lot of advanced more thing we can do on the top of this part in the future time. So I need SCM. I'm going to use GitHub. And the GitHub guy, we have to create the repositories there to upload. So what I'm going to do, first of all, let me create the repository in the GitHub directly. So here I'm going to create a new repository. Let's say this is Jenkins training just for Docker. Okay. And make it activate right now. Initialize the repository more like a folder in the GitHub where I'm going to upload the code in the future. Because I'm going to upload the code from my laptop. So I copy this repository, it's called clone. Okay, in my local computer here with the git clone command. This is my local laptop. This repository clone. Now I go to this repository folder. Same folder name gonna come up here. Okay, so this folder know from where they downloaded because they have some internal git folder located. And now I am a developer. I'm going to do two things here. First, I am going to create my app. Okay, something in HTML maybe, or maybe you can use PHP, whatever you feel like. Okay, so I'm going to create my app, and here I'm to write welcome to my website, version 1 of the website. Dot. Bye. This is the code I created here. Okay, or let me do create in PHP, not to make it simple. Let me rename this file. I would like to create in HTML, for example. So the pure code of HTML I created here. But here I have to give the instructions. Okay, instructions is how you want this code to be run. My plan is I want my code to be run in the Docker world. So to tell Docker, right, how this code to be injected in the image, to create Docker file. Okay, so I'm going to create a Docker file. This is what you guys might know. In the Docker file, you have to always give base image name. Okay, so you have to give some base image name where you want to create the start the image from. So let me use this as a base image. You can give other thing also. The way you know about Docker, you can create everything. But let me use this base image. Why I'm using this? Because in this image, I already have Linux. I have all the basic PHP software. I have the web server configured. So nothing much to do over here. Otherwise, those who know about Docker, they can create all the things of the Docker file to setting up the install the software, configure the web server, configure the databases, install the runtimes, all the thing you can do over here. But here I'm only taking this as a base image, and main thing is because in this image I want to copy this file, this map. So here I will use the copy keyword and say this is the file I have in my base system. Okay, copy this file into this folder with this name. Okay, why this folder? You guys know, because I'm using the Apache server, and those who know Apache server will read your app from this folder. So this app I created, this app is more like a home page. Okay, and this home page I created, I want to copy in this location from this image. Okay, now this two file we created, very, very simple file, nothing complex, but those who know Docker complex, you can write all Docker complex things. Okay, now this is the duty of the developer, that's all. Put all the website code and give the instruction to the Docker file. Okay, but this guy does not have to do anything with respect to how to run it, where to run it. They does not need, even though it does not need a Docker command also. Now this file, they're going to upload into our GitHub. For this, let me add .mesh. I'm going to add all the files. Git commit .mesh. I'm going to commit all the file with some kind of comment. Let's say first comment, and then let me push. And I'm going to push both the file into my Docker hub. So GitHub over here. So if you see, this file was not there. Now it's gonna come over here, both the files. Now I want to run a job that will download this code. Okay, which code? This code. So for this, I am going to run a job. Okay, so let's say this is Docker project to build. There's a project name. Okay. And here I will give my Git details to download this code. The point here is who will download this code. Okay. So accordingly here, in my case, this will download by this computer, because they are the one who download, then they are the one who have the code, they are the one who going to run this code. So here I want this project to be run on the computer that has a build name. I think my build, sorry. So run this project only in my build. Okay, let me do till here. Let's see what happened. What happened? Save. Okay, and let me run this. Now what you will see, your build computer, my build computer, slave computer actually, will go to GitHub and download this code. Let's say they work or fail. Okay, failed. That's nice. Why they fail? So this code run in slave 1, they fail. Okay, because Git software is not available, guys. The same error what I was talking in my last class. Okay, if you want, somebody will download for you. Last time master system downloaded, so install git command in the master. But today it is downloaded by the slave. Slave system is download, so they need a git command, right? Okay, so in the slave actually, even though let me write here 26 system is a system for build computer. I don't have a git command, right? How they download. So let me install the git command here, right? So depend upon what your slave is doing. They're downloading from Git, you need Git command there. They're running a Docker, you need Docker program there. So these are the setup we have to do in the slave computer. Okay. Now, let me run the job again one more time. Build. Now they will run in the slave 2. Now it's working fine. And let me see the console log. For successful, fantastically fine. And the console log, you can see slave 2 run the git command and downloaded the code successfully. And where they download? They download the code into workspace here. And this workspace is there in the slave. And that is the reason, guys, in the slave computer, we have created this folder. So they will create a workspace. And they get a workspace with the name of your project name. So here, this project name workspace they created. Right? Same thing I explained in my last class. And they download the code here. Now, in the system, they have app code, your entire app website, plus they have the Docker file. Docker file. Now, this system duty is to run the Docker file. And for this, they need a Docker command. They have it, right? But who will ask to run the Docker file? Docker. So your Jenkins. So in the same project, I ask run this job only in the web node, slave node, my build, download this code. After download this code, do one thing, run some command. Run the command with sudo, command docker. Okay. And you guys know, if you want to run the Docker file, there's a build command Docker. Run the build command. Okay, and the build command, you give an image name. So create an image. Let's say image name is called my web image with some version. So there's a new image they're going to create. Dot means current folder. So whichever folder you are in, because right now every job will run in their workspace. So whichever workspace you are in means you are here. So this is your current folder. Wherever you are, does not matter. But your workspace folder is your current folder. So in this folder is the one where your job run. Okay. Same folder. Okay, means cd dot means current folder. Same folder or run in this file. And same folder you will find the Docker file. And you guys might know the Docker file. Docker file is a standard name. So they will only look for the file with D capital with no space. Then they will go and run for you. So finally, what you see, when you build this job again, okay, your image will create, guys, automatically. If you see the console output, you will see your image created successfully. Even though you can come over here also and run in the system, Docker images, your image right now, see here, right now, they created successfully with this name. Fantastic, right? Image created successfully. Okay. And who created the image? Automatic by the job. By the job. Okay. But what I want after the image created successfully, I want this image to be uploaded to the Docker Hub. This is my Docker Hub. And how to upload the image, you guys might know. You should have an account in the Docker Hub. In my case, I have the account already. Okay, this is not my account name actually. Sign up. Sorry. So you should have an account in the Docker Hub. I have my account. So let me sign in. And my account name is Vimal13, I believe. This is my username. And I think I've already given the password. And they upload the image here. So how to do this? So first of all, to do this, you have to first log in to Docker because this system is the one. I'm the guy's slave one, right? Build computer. So this system is one who's going to upload the image, right? So this system to log into Docker. So here again, this is one more thing I have to do it manually here. First time, I have to log into Docker with my account, with my password. Okay. Now this system I can use, only this system I can use because I have login here to upload my images. And how to upload the image, you guys might know. You have to first rename your image. Okay, and I want this image renaming again to be done by Jenkins. So I've asked my Jenkins, can you do one thing? After you create the image, okay, you have to upload this image. So first, ask Docker to rename this image, okay, with the name called Vimal 13. So you rename this image with your account name. And where the account created? In Docker website. So you give here the information. This account created in the docker.io. Actually, this is internal website. Actually, this you don't have to give this website. Docker upload the image in some database, and this is a URL of the Docker system where they upload the image. So first, change the image name. This image name local. Change to this name, so I can upload the image to this website to this account with this name. And after this, use the Docker push command. Upload where this name. So this name contain a lot of things. Upload this image to this account in this website. So guys, this is a pure Docker command actually. You guys might know Docker, so you know this command. As I share my videos, you will guys learn extra thing about Docker and try to apply this knowledge here in the Jenkins. Now what do you see guys here? Now when I build again, they download the code from the GitHub. And after download the code from the GitHub, okay, they are pushing. See here? They create the image, they're pushing and successful. Why successful? Because same system, worker node, see guys, this image, they renamed first and they push because this is my login, otherwise they failed. And what you see, your Docker image has been uploaded here. So if I refresh this page, you can see some image right now. So yeah, fantastic. Right now, this image gonna come up with a tag version called viewer. Okay, don't be confused with this one because this image I already have, or maybe you can do a small change so there will be no confusion because this name I had already. So let me do one thing, very small change in my code. Let me give a different name instead of my, let's say LW web. Okay, let me change LW web, and this all LW web. Okay, so small change I'm doing here. So you can see some notice something is happening. So in your Docker Hub, okay, in the repository of the Docker Hub, you will see some new image. This is my LW was an older one. You can see as your job complete of the Jenkins, still they're running, they're uploading the image in a minute. Okay, now successful, it means if I go to my Docker Hub, new image ko LW web gonna come up. See here? Okay, and with one image tag called Viva. Fantastic, right? So this part is done. Okay, now I'm going to use a production system. Okay, now they will go to Docker Hub and download the image and launches the container. And because it's a new thing they're going to do, so it will be a new job for me. So now what I'm going to do, and after this, I just need one more 5 minutes extra. I will show you the pipeline, how to set up the pipeline. What I mean by this, I'll show you in a minute. But let me create a new job. There's a Docker project to production. So I want to launch in the production environment. A new job. And this job is going to run only in a node that is a production node. Here I don't have to go to GitHub, nothing, because I already have the image with me. Only thing is I have to do one command. Okay, command is Docker. I want to run a new container, let's say my OS1, run in the background because this container has a website. So I want to expose 80 port to that port. And this image is coming from this URL with v1 as a version name. As a version name. That's what I would like to do. Okay. And when you launch this job, now this job, guys, will launch in a different node altogether. Different node altogether. Okay. Which node? Can see successful, fantastic. If you see here, they launch slave 2 and run successful. In my case, slave 2 is not the computer. Slave 2 was this computer having 0 here. So having 0 here in the name is my slave 2. And what you notice here, last time there's no container. Still there's no. Why? Image is not downloaded. Why? Something happened. Slave 2, right? So why is slave 2? Let me check. It may be different computer. Let me check the IP of slave 2. So my slave 2 is this IP. And this IP in AWS, maybe this one. Let me check. No, this is a different computer. Actually, I set up in the other computer by chance. So let me check which system has IP. This one. 1 minute. No, this is not the computer. Stop actually. IP 18 in the last. But there's no matter. Wherever they are, there's no matter. This is the computer where my website is running. Okay. So go here. You can see, fantastic. This website gonna come. Obviously, the container running there. Otherwise, you do remote login to this guy. You can see container is running over there. Or maybe very quickly, let me show you from the command line. I have the key for the system rather than a search. As S says, login with cube key that I have. Okay, to EC2 user at this IP address. I'm doing remote login to this IP address because I know the IP, I have the key. Same set I'm going to come up. You can see this is one of my slave node running somewhere. I don't know, but this launch there. This is my production system. Okay. Now, one thing I want to do, guys, here is now there's two independent jobs running. Okay, and jobs running. This one, but they are somehow associated to each other. What I mean by this, for example, now developers say, this is a developer, I'm setting my laptop. They say, I'm coming with a new website. Here, website changed to version 2. So my duty is to commit and to push. That's all. My duty is completed. But from here, the duty of Jenkins is going to come in play. The duty of Jenkins is to first run the job. Okay, it won't run automatically. Okay, when they run the job, the new code will be downloaded. And in this code, there's a new images. See here, then they download the new code. Okay, from this GitHub. And in this new code, again, they get new image. Again, they upload the image. That's all. Okay, so I don't want this to be done manually, right? Every time I develop upload, I have to go here and click the button. And this concept I explained in my last class already, right? For this, what we can do in this job, what we can do in this job, we can add the triggers. And trigger is polysim I can do. And say every minute, keep on trying and checking. This concept I explained in my last class in detail. Okay, both things I explained, build periodically and polysim. Polysim better option. Why I show you, showed you already. Now, in this case, everything is automated. Now, as soon as they see new website gonna come up, let me show you one more time. Let's say new website gonna come up with V3 as a new content, and let me commit new change. Third, and let me push. As soon as developer upload, everything is now automated. Okay, within a minute they detect new change in the GitHub. Okay, this project will automatically run. Okay, and they run by downloading new code from the GitHub. So they go to GitHub, they see the new change uploaded now in this file. Okay, this commit. This project automatically run the new code. See here in a minute. Sorry. Okay, so last time was 6. So in a minute, you can see they will run one more new job automatically the way I saw you in my last class also. And they will show you. It should be maybe, I'm waiting for one more minute. Yeah, see here, printing, same, right? 7 job automatically run, right? Why within a minute they detected new change? So they download the new code and creating a new image. And after creating a new image, they will upload this image here. Who run this job? This is run by SCM change. Something changed the GitHub. And they upload successfully. And what do you see in the Docker Hub? Docker Hub, this image 1 minute ago. Right now, something a second ago uploaded. Right now. So now this project is running everything automatically, but this is not, guys. Here in this project, okay, to set up your because my customer not able to see the new website, right? So they are still seeing the old website, and this website coming from the production environment and person there in the slave node 2, and slave node 2 is managed by this particular job. So this job you have to run by yourself. But they fail. Why they fail? Because small region. Because I told you in my last time also. Okay, when you try to run one more container with the same name, they fail. So technically, what you have to do when you want to launch your new container, new container. So before you launch a new container, okay, first delete the old. This is not the perfect practice, but I know for sake of doing this part, I'm doing it. First, delete, then only you can launch a new container that can be exposed in the same port number. Okay. Now let me run the job. And but this is again, this job is manual. Job is doing automatically, but launching the job is manual. So they run successfully. Now my client can see the new website. Okay, so in this entire setup, guys, everything is automated, but one part is manual to running this job. Running the job. But I want this to be also automated. And how we can do so? How we can do so? This is very interesting concept. The concept is right now, if you notice, guys, we have a developers. Okay. And we have one of the job running. They're helping me to build the Docker images. And the one more job is running. There is helping me to take the images and run in the production environment. Anything run in the production environment can be seen by customers. My customer can see this website. But running, setting everything for building is automated, setting everything to run in the production environment is automated. Okay. But running this job is also automated because I said something here in the Git and say just keep on looking for the Git. If something changes, run automatically. This is again automatically, but this job is not running automatically. I have to click on the button and run this job. So what you can do here, whenever developer upload the code in the GitHub, push, when they upload the code in the GitHub, okay, then this job will run automatically. So what we can do, we can write something in this job. Job, you are going to run automatically. So either you pass, you fail. If you fail so for some reason, means image is not created. But if you pass, it means new image created and uploaded. It means this image I want to run in my production environment. So do one thing. If you pass, if this is the condition, then go and ask this job to rerun. So you go to this job and ask this job to rerun automatically. This also, guys, the concept of trigger. Trigger. Where the two independent job can trigger to each other. Okay, based on condition, either you pass, then trigger, or fail to trigger. In this case, if the job fail of building, image not created, so there's no reason to ask the job to rerun the new image because image is not yet created. But if you pass, so the condition here, if you pass, then contact to second job and ask them to run automatically. Okay, in this case, with respect to this job, okay, this job is known as downstream job or downstream project. And with respect to this job, oh, okay, this job is known as upstream job or upstream projects. Okay, so job one is the one after job one complete, then only job two will run. Then for the job one perspective, job two is known as downstream. And to run the job two, we need to complete job one. For job two perspective, job one is called upstream project. This is some term we use. But how we can do this? Very simple, but very useful. Okay, so in the build job is the first job. I said build job. I'm going to configure you. If you run successful, okay, then you have to build other projects. Okay, but not in this way. It will build after project build. So I have to do this setup from the other actually. Leave this page. So I'll go to person job, second job, and say you are the project. You have to build